What's up, my people? Welcome back to Vertical Football. Welcome back to another episode of the FIFA World Cup 2022 edition. I'm your host, Shegun. And guys, it's great to be back here. Amazing game between France and Sweden. Lovely things. I think I'm very, very impressed with what I saw from France. I think, funny enough, this is the second France game I'm actually analyzing. I analyzed their first game against Senegal. And I'm happy to see that a lot of things I said then that I wanted to see in the France national team is what I'm seeing currently. And I think it's just amazing. And I feel they are real contenders. Really, really, they are real contenders because of the squad they have. But not just the squad, but the dynamics also. So guys, let's jump right into it. Let's analyze the game. First and foremost, credit to the players of France. Credit to the likes of Mbappe, Olise, Dembele. All of them did amazingly well. Amazingly well. I think the first quarter of the game was kind of like difficult for France in a way, because they had issues in a way in terms of progressing the ball. That's on the midfield. But I like the fact that the likes of Dembele sometimes would drop deep, but mostly it was Olise that was dropping deep. He tried to collect the ball and try to now progress. But the mistake or the issue there when Olise would come back in the first quarter of that game was that when Olise would drop back, there was nobody in that number 10 role. So the likes of Rabiot was not pushing up as much as we want to cover that situation. So, and the likes of Barcola would not move in. The likes of Dembele was far out wide. Mbappe was as the number 9. But obviously, as the game went on, especially from the second quarter of the game, we began to see different dynamics, right? For example, you would see situation, and I think I want to praise Mbappe for that. Mbappe was versatile in today's game. I love the movement of Mbappe. Fantastic. I think that's what you want. I think that's what, how I wish the guy could just press for PSG and made us even see that kind of Dembele, Mbappe, that kind of flexibility, Barcola that they had today. Maybe if Olise was there, it would be fantastic, really, because it was a very, very, very flexible movement from from Mbappe today. Not just only Mbappe, but even all the players. For example, Mbappe, at certain points, you see Mbappe on the left-hand side wing. When he's in the wing, Barcola moves in. Sometimes you see even Mbappe dropping back into the midfield to try and maybe take shot, and sometimes or to try even pass. When it drops into the midfield, you see, for example, Rabiot moving inside, to try and disrupt that defensive shape of Sweden. Sometimes you see Mbappe on the right hand side. When it's on the right hand side, Dembele is spearheading. Olise comes to the midfield. So you saw a lot of variety, and I really liked it from Barcola, from Dembele, from Mbappe, from Olise, even from Rabiot. Taking in positions, like, oh, Rabiot is in that place because Mbappe has come in. Because I love that, and I feel it's difficult for defenders to be able to track that kind of movement. And that's why you remember when I did the analysis against Senegal, I said that, that France forward has the capacity to be flexible. And I'm happy they were flexible today in terms of their movements. This is the second game I'm analyzing about them, but I saw that they were very, very flexible. And I think I really, really love it. Second point for me, Olise, I think fantastic. Amazing. I can just use my 5 things to appreciate players. But I think I felt the assists, the kind of passes, sometimes you now look at it. I'm sure, very, very sure that Vincent Kompany is watching this game and say, come on, I can use this guy in this position also. Even though I know yes, Kane can drop back and do those things. But you can also look at it, I can use Olise in this kind of situation because Olise was fantastic. Ability to drop back, the ability to come and, sometimes drop even deeper than even the two midfielders at certain points to pass the ball and move in. And fantastic. The passes he made, amazing, really amazing. The assists, amazing. I think that is an amazing player because as a manager, he offers you so much flexibility. Dembele offers you so much flexibility that you can actually tweak things and hurt teams. You can tweak things and really hurt teams. And I think I really, really like that. Really like that. So another thing for me, Sweden. I think Sweden's game. It was a matter of time before they would concede the first goal, in our opinion, because the way our Sweden approached the game was, okay, we're not going to have the ball. This is a France national side. We are going to sit back a bit and, depend on transitional moments. But the fact is, if you want to depend on transitional moments, you should also be able to make use of a transitional moments well. I mean, for most part of the game, they had those moments where they would win the ball. Okay, let's do transition. Let's kind of hot France. And the way they would do the transition was like you are trying to on a match, trying, and it's not honing. So that's the way it was. They couldn't get their transition to spark up. Sometimes they reach the front and they have to now pass back and then start pass. And I felt their side was not a side with an arrow. In my mind when I was watching, I was like, this is a side that is not a side with an arrow. I think it's a side that has a bow. So they reach here, it's just They go like this. It's not sharp. It's not penetrative, really. And I really felt that these guys might not be able to take anything from this game. And I'm not surprised it ended the way it ended because, those transitional moments, they were not sharp enough. Even with the likes of Gyökeres, with the likes of Isak, with the likes of Elanga, and all those players that they had, the Ayaris and the likes, they did not make use of that. And for me, the defense also of France was very, very good in terms of those 1v1 situations with the likes of Gyökeres, they were there in terms of not allowing those kind of link-ups to occur in that situation. I think was very, very good. Really, really good. Really good. So other thing I also want to say is I feel that France obviously has shown us a lot of things, even though I know that there are still some things they need to improve upon. But I saw a lot of improvements in terms of their midfield today, which is something I want to praise. The likes of Rabiot doing more of the ball playing. I think, and that's a very big improvement that I saw since after the Senegal game in terms of, as I said, Olise dropping it, but also the role of Rabiot and the space between Rabiot and Tchouaméni, I felt wasn't wide. They were not on the same line per se, and leaving that hole in front. So it was Rabiot could drop deep, could carry the ball, but there was that angle to the way they moved, and I think I really like that because it created some dynamics that I really enjoyed, and I feel it's going to be amazing, really, really amazing for this French national side, really, really amazing. Really, really amazing. I think it was really, really good. So, lastly, I think for me, it was a good game. Deserved win, obviously, from France. Deserved win. And you're just showing us that, there's something there. These guys, obviously, they were finalists in the last World Cup. I'm struggling to see them not entering final. I think they're going to enter the final. They're going to enter the final because this was really, really good in terms of how the team plays. How the team plays. Against Senegal, I said they were adopting some strategies of the Enrique in PSG, but I think today you can see that attack is flexible, the way they are playing, the way everybody begins to get into the rhythm. I think it was fantastic. So guys, let me have your opinion on the France versus Sweden game. I really enjoyed it. Kudos to you guys. What's your opinion about it? Is there something I say you don't agree with? Is there something I said that you agree with? Let's have that discussion in the comment section. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and ultimately don't forget to share. Until I see you next time. Bye.